Okay, so number 9, let's talk about the in-home worksheets and how are we going to take those rates. Now let's just review, we'll recap real quickly. You have booked your appointment, you have taken your client qualification sheet and verified the height and weight that they fall within the bill chart. You've made sure that your CQS sheet is filled out completely, emailed that in. Someone from our office sent you back suggestions for what products and what amounts to show your client. And then you went to the Carrier Resources tab on Equus Financial website. You found the rate calculator and ran the rates. And so now you have your rates for what you're going to show your client. The in-home worksheets, premium worksheets, I apologize, because I use the premium worksheets whether I am running an appointment virtually or running an appointment in the home for a couple of reasons. It helps to keep the rates and the information of what you're going to show your client very organized. When you get to that point where you are going over the rates with your client, again, virtually or face-to-face, it allows for the numbers to be kind of absorbed and keep everybody on track. It eliminates a lot of confusion. Now, if in the suggestions that for the products and the rates that you're running for your clients, if you don't have some of these boxes filled in, that's fine. You're only going to take the rates that you've actually run and transfer them to the premium worksheets. And you should have 5 premium worksheets. So you should have one premium worksheet that says 10, 15, and 20 years across the top, and then also has a section at the bottom for whole or permanent life. So these are going to be for clients that are typically going to be over the age of 55 or 60, where we're showing options for 10-year term, 15-year term, 20-year term, where a 30-year term option is not available. And then we also might be showing them some whole life options, maybe $20, $30, $40, $50,000 worth of whole life that they might choose from. And those rates, the whole life options, will go down at the bottom under where it says permanent whole life. The second worksheet is virtually identical, except that it says 15, 20, and 30 across the top, and then also still has the whole life or the permanent option at the bottom. So this is going to be for clients that are typically younger than the age of 55, where they will have more appropriately a 15-year, 20-year, or 30-year term option available to them. And then you might show them a whole life option depending on their age. You might show them a universal life product, which is a great long-term or permanent solution for a younger client where they can have coverage virtually for their whole life. It's also a great way for them to build up some cash value, some more substantial cash value in a policy. The third worksheet that you'll see is the return of premium worksheet. So if you have a younger client, again, typically younger than the age of 50, we might show them a straight, 15, 20, or 30-year or 30-year term option. And then we might throw in a return of premium option, which is a great option. There's also a video in the extra videos about how to sell and why to sell return of premium and really the mindset of return of premium. Suffice it to say, it is an option where the monthly premium may be a slight bit higher for a younger client than just a 30-year term option. So it might be a little bit more expensive. However, at the end of 30 years, if they have kept the policy in force and not passed away as well, so they have to have kept and paid for the policy the full 30 years or not passed away, then at the end of that 30 years, the insurance company will send them back 100% of their money. Well, I take that back. Some carriers will send back 50% of what they've paid in. Some will send back 75% of what they have paid in. And some will send back 100% of what they've paid in. Now, something to note about return of premium, not all carriers offer a return of premium option. And it is not something that that a client can say, well, I want this, this 30-year option for $50 a month. and I'd like you to send me back all my money at the end of 30 years as well. It is a different rate that you will run, and on the carrier's rate calculators where they offer return of premium, there will be a rider box or a box that you will notate that you would like the rates for return of premium. Like I said, it is a higher rate, but it is a great option, so in certain situations, I would definitely suggest that you offer it. The number 4 sheet that you'll see there is the prepared for sheet, and it's that is something definitely that you're going to want to use when you're running a face-to-face appointment in the home. And what I do is on the sheet that says, it's just a white piece of paper, it says prepared for on a line, you write your client's name on the line. I use that to cover my premium worksheet when I'm in the home. So I'm sitting at someone's kitchen table, and I am going through my presentation and discussing with them, the advantages of a non-medical option, a simplified issue, if you will, option, not having to get stuck in the arm with the needle from a nurse, the types of carriers that we work with, what living benefits are, all of the information that is on the credibility sheet, which you'll see in a few videos, few modules down. But as I'm going through all of that, I want to make sure that the client is really focusing on me and focusing on what I'm trying to explain to them in that presentation. I don't want them looking at the rates, right? Because then what happens is they get distracted. All they're focusing on are the numbers, right? And they're missing the information that you're giving them that will really help them decipher the difference in those options. So I use the prepared for sheet to kind of delicately keep those rates covered until I'm ready to move to that step in my presentation. The last number 5 worksheet that you'll see here is the whole life or guaranteed issue worksheet. And I use this worksheet when I'm only offering a client whole life, final expense, or guaranteed issue whole life option. Primarily because it bullet points some of the things that are very specific to final expense / whole life. And when we say final expense / whole life, final expense is a whole life option. It's something that will be there for their whole life. And then term is obviously a term product that will be there for either 10, 15, 20, 25, or 30 years. But when I'm only showing a whole life option, I don't like to use the traditional 10, 15, 20, or 15, 20, 30 worksheet, only because it leaves so much blank space in that top portion. And then your client is wondering, well, why don't I have any options up there? So this worksheet for whole life really kind of fills in the blank space on the page and then shows them just the rates at the bottom. So take your rates that you have run from the rate calculator, fill them into the appropriate worksheet, fill out your prepared for sheet, and like I said, whether you're running a virtual appointment or a face-to-face option, you're going to want to make sure that you have your rates on your worksheet so that when it's time to go over those with the client, they're not sitting there waiting for you to pull out a phone or pull out a laptop and run rates, and now nobody's really having a discussion anymore because we're consumed with trying to get the technology to work. So this is really the culmination of the know before you go system. Know before you go, know what the client qualifies for, and know how much it will cost the client. And that's why the premium worksheets are as important as they are. So this was video 9, the premium worksheets.